Jiri Prochazka weighed in on Alex Pereira, and he said he's not a very good martial artist. And I got to tell you, Pereira has felt off limits. For whatever reason, he's felt off limits. Like, I haven't seen him do anything wrong. I haven't seen him upset anybody. Even when he upset Izzy, he upset him for all the right reasons, which was competitiveness. And he showed sportsmanship by getting back in there with him and giving Izzy the same opportunity that Izzy had given him. Promptly left the division, took care of business there. Called out Anthony Smith. It had something to do with grappling. Kind of caught everybody off guard. Didn't quite know where that was going. Watching it real closely. Waiting. I'm waiting to unleash the wrath on Alex Pereira. I never saw it. Never saw an opening. Put out social media things. It was very compelling. I mean, I've watched this guy kick a soccer ball and then shoot it with a bow and arrow. I've watched him getting mitt work in while he's on a hoverboard. He's interesting. The guy's interesting. I watched him draw back on his son who tried to spook him. Did you guys see that one? His son's like waiting for him. He comes through the door late at night. The son jumps out. Rah! It scares him. Alex doesn't flinch. He didn't do anything like that. I mean, he's just really interesting. And I'm not even saying that this is scathing, by the way, but it's probably the most scathing thing I have heard. Even Anthony Smith, when he gets called out by Alex Pereira, was like, hey, whoa, where's this coming from? Like, I get a good relationship with Glover. What are you doing saying my name? I'm in, by the way, but where's this coming from? Right? I mean, it's one of these things where nobody's really come after him, and Jiri Prochazka, who's not known to do anything interesting ever, has now said he's not a very good martial artist. I'm compelled by that because I would like to hear why. It just feels like to me, if a guy's a world champion, or even in Pereira's current situation, the guy is a number one contender about to fight for a world championship in Madison Square Garden, I might add. Okay? The very venue that he successfully had titles before. I'm just sharing with you, like, I don't know what about that guy, but you could say he wasn't very good, and I would like to hear. I mean, you'd have to really be special to say he's not very good. Let me use Islam by example. Islam said a whole bunch of black belts should give their black belt back. They're not real black belts. The system that jiu-jitsu lives under gives out too many black belts. He said, give me a black belt, I'll submit him, and I don't even do jiu-jitsu. I'm not a black belt. I've worked out enough sambo just in the practice room. I will crush your black belts. And then he did. And you go, oh, okay. Like, I don't know if I fully agreed with your statement that there's too many or this guy doesn't qualify as a black belt, but if you can go out and crush them, I guess you do have the right to make the statement. And if Jiri Prochazka is so good and so skilled that when he looks at Alex Pereira, he says, hey, that guy's not very polished, that's interesting to me. And I have heard nothing but great stuff about Prochazka from guys that have been in there with him. Guys that feel him. And there is a feel that you have that cannot be witnessed. The cameras don't pick it up. The announcers can't enunciate it. And I heard from CB Dalloway and King Mo separately that Jiri is special and that he's different. And when I watch his fight, which is the greatest light heavyweight fight I've ever seen, against Glover Teixeira, the fact that all Glover had to do was run out the clock. He had the math. He had the win. He had 30 seconds left. But Prochazka knew that, and he found a way. It's amazing. It's amazing. And now he's looking at Pereira saying he's not very good. Pointed out his wrestling, pointed out what he does on the ground. From a pacing standpoint, Prochazka is very unique. But I would like to know what happened there. I mean, I've been in a back and forth with you guys from the time they stripped him of his belt. And I read the comment section. I read every comment that you guys make. All of them. You get responses or you get thumbs up. Or it's all for me. Nobody else even has the codes. It's all me. But I do see a push and pull when I tell you that he got stripped. You guys love to tell me that he relinquished, and he did not. That isn't true. He got stripped. But you guys love to tell me that he relinquished. Well, he did an interview today, the very interview that I'm talking about, where he said that Pereira isn't a very skilled martial artist. And he said, I did not want to give the belt back. It was not my idea. That's quote. But eventually I agreed. That's called being stripped. I mean, not for nothing, right? Who loves to say I told you so more than me? But according to Jiri himself, I told you so.